April 4th, 2012, I woke up in the middle of the street in Afghanistan in the city of Maimana, Faryab province. A 13-year-old male suicide bomber had walked into my foot patrol and detonated. He had 25 pounds of Semtex wrapped around his chest, covered in ball bearings that was quad dipped in various sorts of poison. I wake up and I almost pass right back out. If you know how high order explosives work, they take the atmosphere and compress it to a literal physical wall, and it sends it out, and that is the most destructive part of any bomb, called the blast wave. And it levels buildings, it throws stuff around, it pushes all the oxygen out of your air, it pushes all the oxygen out of that space, and it creates a vacuum, and nature hates a vacuum. So what happens next? Twice as fast, you get hit with it again, then you get the frag, then you get the thermal effect. If you're lucky enough, you get all three like I did. The bomb blast was very well placed. It killed a lot of my brothers, killed a lot of my best friends. I was laying there in the street, looking around, trying to make sense of what happened. And all I know is I'm getting ready to pass right back out because I'm not breathing. So I struggle for a breath. As soon as I inhaled, the scent of that explosive singed into my nostrils. I knew exactly what had happened. My exhale was a prayer, just for one more day on this earth, for just one last opportunity to call people that I love and let them know I love you, or more likely, please forgive me for everything that I've done to you. I tried to flip myself over on the street, but my legs weren't working, so I used my arms to cartwheel myself over, take a quick look down, and the bomb had shredded my combat pants right off my body. I basically had multicam Daisy Dukes, which was exactly what I needed because I needed to assess myself. My right thigh turned inside out. The blast had launched my entire right femur completely out of my leg, and my right thigh was inside out. It looked like a roast. I couldn't see the femoral artery, but I could see the blood spurting out of this massive meat. Left leg was almost severed at the knee, barely connected by some tissue at the back of the knee. And every time my heart beats, I'm getting sleepier and sleepier and sleepier. Now, those of you listening to this, you know, when you're in that moment, what is your most pressing problem you have to solve right now? It's that arterial compromise. And what is the only way you can do it? Yes, a tourniquet. So we've all been trained on these, and believe me, I know everybody watching this was trained and knows how to make a tourniquet. In that instant, I was not able to do it on my own, but I knew what to do. My mind said, tourniquet, right leg, go. And I'm trying to grab the tourniquet off my plate carrier, and I'm trying, and it's not working. And I looked at my hand, and it looks gorgeous now, but it was completely degloved. This pinky was gone. All the meat from half of my hand was hanging down by my elbow. I was looking straight through my hand, shiny white bone that literally looked like a Halloween prop you would stick in your front lawn to scare kids when they're trying to come get some candy for trick or treat. So tourniquet, left hand, go. And I grabbed it, and the shoulder was dislocated, so I was chicken winging my tourniquets on. And my mind, like a laser, took me to a pre-deployment training day, and our medic, Jeremy LaPointe, drilling us over and over and over on putting these tourniquets on. And sometimes he was even getting cruel with it. You'd be training all day, sweaty, tired. All you want to do is get a few hours of Z's. But he wouldn't go to sleep. He would wait like a ninja. And as soon as you fell asleep, he would come over, startle you awake. You wake up wanting to fight. He'd throw a tourniquet in your chest and say, tourniquet, left leg, go. And he's timing you. Because you know you only have 90 seconds to put it on, and then you're going to sleep. And it came to a point where we thought he was taking it over the limit. And I remember one night I got mad and I yelled at him. He woke me up out of my sleep, doing his tourniquet trick, and I said, Jeremy, I know how to put the tourniquet on. What I need to do is sleep. Leave me alone. And he looked at me directly in the eye and he said, I won't leave you alone. He said, because if you ever have to do this in real life, you have no idea what state you're going to be in. And then he said this for anyone to hear who is within earshot. He said, I'm not loading up anybody's body. I'm not going to anybody's funeral, watching them lower your body in the ground, looking at your kids in the eye and saying, he's getting buried because I didn't push him hard enough. He said, you're not putting that on me. Put that tourniquet on. And I did it. So in that moment, Toolset, believe me, had I not had a tourniquet on my body, I would not be here. But if I wasn't drilled and invested in how to do it, when you're 1 inch, a few heartbeats from life, I wouldn't be here. Okay, but it goes deeper than that. When I'm putting that tourniquet on, applied one to each leg, and I just kept passing out. I mean, I had bled out so much. I was laying in a pool of my own blood. I just couldn't believe all the fluid that came out of my body. I said, I knew the human body held a lot of blood. I was told 6 liters, 7 liters, depending on your anatomy. I just couldn't believe how much blood I was laying in. And as I'm twisting on the tourniquet on my left leg, my head keeps hitting the deck and I'd snap awake, and it would hit the deck and I would snap awake. And I just cannot describe the level of sleepiness I was feeling at that point. And I had to have a reason to stay awake. But putting the tourniquet on and waking up after the bomb blast, the mindset comes into play. I can honestly say that I never panicked. And I can also take zero credit for that. Because once we got the intelligence report that 3 suicide bombers came into the area, specifically for me, my partner, and our Afghan counterparts, we OODA looped it at the end of every day. Observe, orient, decide, and act. We mentally war game that with positive visual imagery at the end of every day, with intentionality, with intensity. So although my physical body had never been in that experience before, my mind and my heart had already solved that problem dozens of times. There was no panic. I knew exactly what to do, because the mind and heart navigate the body. The body will never follow where the mind and heart are not willing to lead. So I didn't panic. Toolset had it. Every person, according to SOP, carried 3 tourniquets on their kit. Skillset had it. Thanks to the team medic who trained us up and drilled us. Mindset, we OODA looped that so many times, but it takes something more. Heartset. And the Heartset has got to be about something greater than self. I kept passing out and I was so sleepy. And for the slightest moment, I thought this. I got my tourniquets on. My rifle's blown off me. I can't even get to my pistol because this hand's not working and this shoulder is dislocated and I can't reach across and cross draw. I've literally done everything that I can do. It's getting really rugged right now. Maybe I just take a nap and wake up and find myself rescued at a MASH. Well, what happens if you take a nap in that situation? Yeah, they call that a dirt nap. You're not waking up, not in this realm. So I had to have a reason to stay awake. And my mind took me to the day that I left my house and a promise that I made to my wife and my mother. Highly emotional. Here I am going off and I'm already in my uniform. My mom comes out, my wife comes out. They're trying to keep it together. You know, tears are just squeaking through the eyelids. And they look at me and they say, you promise us that you're going to make it home. You promise us that when all this is said and done, we're going to see you walk in that front door. And I thought about it and I swallowed and I said, I can't do that. I'd already been to too many funerals of men who were way bigger, stronger, faster, more lethal than I will ever be. And they came home in pine boxes wrapped in our flag. So I know sometimes it just goes down like that and you give your last full measure. But I told him this. I said, I will promise you that I will fight, stab, shoot, claw. I will burn my way through anything that will keep me from coming home. And know this, if I do come home wrapped in our flag, I made them pay the heaviest tax possible. And they said, okay, we're going to hold you to that. And when I thought about taking that nap, my mind like a laser took me to that promise. And I said to myself, I got to be a man of my word. And to be honest with you, I got angry. I thought this, none of these guys out there trying to kill me got the right to make one tear roll down the cheek of anybody who loves me. They ain't got that right. Now I'm going to fight for this. And I shared that with you. There is nobody out there walking around who has the right to take you from your loved ones. If you're ever put to the test, I hope you go all out because your life is precious. But it has to be about something greater than self. You see, when you're in that moment, that's where your purpose, that's where your why comes in. And if it's only about us as individuals, then quitting is an option because you're only letting yourself down. But if it's not about us, if it's about something greater than us, and for everybody it's going to be something different, then guess what? Quitting is never on the menu. Ever, ever, ever. Don't look for it on the front. Don't look for it on the back. It is never an option. So I fought for it, and that started a very, very long road to my recovery. I believe in everybody's life, there's going to be something big that happens. Something huge, a huge storm, a huge trauma, a huge event. There'll be a lot of little ones, but I think there's going to be one huge one, and that is how you will measure time. There will be your life before that event, and there will be your life after that event. Toolset and Skillset, our organizations are world class in giving the tools. The tools come and go with the seasons. They change like leaves on a tree. The tools are supported by the skills. You look back over your professional training career, and it is probably 95% Toolset and Skillset centric. And if you want to be world class, you have to have those at a world class level. Those help you get from left of bang to survive the bang. And yes, they will help you come home physically. But we want to come home whole, not just physically. Easiest part, very important first step. We want to come home whole mentally, emotionally, and spiritually too. And how do we do that? That's the mindset. That's the Heartset. And if your organization is not providing that to you, then my friends, remember this: the best education is self-education. You have to seek it out, because not only do you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your people. So I am sitting here before you because Toolset and Skillset were at a world-class level, okay? And I survived that bang, and I came home physically. But what about flourishing forward mentally, emotionally, spiritually? It's that mindset and Heartset. And if you want to be world-class, you have to have all four at a world-class level. Thank you.